On what the Daily Nation has covered for you this Wednesday morning. Wanted sponsors of Kenyatta farm attack. Just as your guess is good as mine, this story is definitely captured in each and every daily that we have today. And this is as a result of what happened on Monday. And the questions being provided is that just why it took that long before police really came to the side. But we are seeing some images here on this particular daily that have been shown of perhaps 3 men. And also what is coming out is that really when they arrived at this particular farm, they not only did they loot property worth millions, but also took livestock there. In fact, also it's indicated that they had even begun constructing some battery structures. You can imagine just in this short span of time, all this had been done there. That is at the Northlands, one of those farms belonging to the Kenyatta family. But also, it turns out that 3,000, a member of the gang said each attacker was paid at least 3,000 Kenyan shillings and issued with a machete. Of course, there's still probing on this particular matter. And again, the majority leader, the National Assembly, that is Kimani Ichung'wah, has also distanced himself from, this activities, going by what he had said on the 18th of March, which had sort of like linked him to this, but then he has distanced himself from that. Also, keep off new officers, CASs told as court decide fate. This is as a result of the 50 chief administrative secretaries that were appointed by the president late last week. But the High Court did come to say that they should not assume office. They are not entitled to any salaries or benefits until this matter is probed. And this just came about because of the initial number which had been proposed by the former head of public service, that is Joseph Kinyua, writing that particular notice that he had requested for 23. That only simply meant that each ministry was to have at least 1 CAS, with the exception of the Interior Ministry, which was to have 2, and that was why it was bringing the number to 23. But then again, we were seeing some extra 27, which is now what brought the number to 50, and clearly this has brought the uproar. We have also seen the Law Society of Kenya taking the matter to court, as well as Katiba Institute, and this is now what the High Court is saying, that they have to probe into the matter before they can assume office. But also we are aware that some have already assumed, have already been given their roles, and that's why we are asking, so where do we draw the demarcation between what the law says or what the court says and just them assuming office? And away from that, still captured on the Daily Nation, state to spend 180 million yearly on former MPs' pension if this new bill is enacted. This is as a result of those MPs who served between 1963, 1984 and also 2001 who are not entitled to any pension, because after the enactment of the 2010 constitution, then it's so that for members of parliament to have at least served for 2 terms, and then they will be entitled to a pension to which they have contributed. But those who served before then they were not entitled to any pension. But if this bill is enacted, this amendments that have been proposed by Member of Parliament Didmas Baraza, that is the Kimilili MP, if at all this becomes law, then we are also seeing MPs who served prior to 2010 receiving this pension. And this just means that it will cost you and I as the taxpayers about 180 million yearly just on this. And lastly, 8 dead, property destroyed by floods in Gilgil and Narok. Much as, yes, you've seen there on the start that the weatherman is saying that perhaps we could be looking into some bit of not rains again. But now so far with this, just is it about 2 weeks or slightly below that, where we've seen rains here and then some parts of the country. But this has obviously also resulted to some floods in different areas and parts of the country. But also this is why we keep asking, oftentimes anytime we are experiencing drought, then we are reeling with issues of food insecurity. But anytime we have rains, then it is floods.